All right, it's time to do a somatic, somatic. I know the spell check doesn't come up right with it. I think it might have been spelt a few times wrong as I double checked that word to make sure it was right. And the first one on this one, it come up wrong. So that's why it's good to have a secretary sometimes if you're not very good at spelling and writing. Semi-illiterate in that area, but highly evolved in others, and you can do that. That's what minds work at, right? And they have some people who are very good in that area and highly not evolved in others, right? That's how brains work sometimes. Or you can have a mixture of everything and so on, but there might be something missed out. That it's good to have something missed out because that also helps connection, to be wanted, to be needed, someone to be needed. Right? You wouldn't want to be a person that can do absolutely everything because you might turn into a stuck up dickhead. That's what I think. And it's good to not know everything because you can have friends around who feel needed as well as you don't know and you feel more needed and wanted when it's like that. And I'm happy to not know everything and have other people to know things to feel needed and wanted. Right? That's what I'm trying to do. But these days, everyone goes, just do it yourself, just do this, just attack this, don't be nice in this because they all see you're weak on this. These days, nice is this weakness, right? And with all that, what do you get? Huh? You get these outcomes that we've been getting. True, Peter? Yeah. I would need a secretary, I would explain that. Right. Next. Semantic. Got the spelling right this time. We're all cool. And, why do you need such semantics? Pretty much what I just said before about it's good to be needed and you don't know everything and you might be in a different sector. You might be a housewife. You might be another thing as you've done a lot of that thing. And so that's the sector you're mainly in, that you professionalise in, right? And if you wanted to do anything else, you would have friends or you would get information yourself if you wanted to, or you'd have people help you through that to make it quicker and easier. As I talked about, if you want things quicker and easier, it's good to have family and friends. That's why it's a good thing to go that direction than forced direction, because in the end, sometimes when they're forced, they'll only do something to get paid, right? And so the negatives will get stuck in and have to pay for everything, right? We're loving, you can pay, and they might just do it for free. Now, if you're a forced enemy, would you want to do things for free forcefully? Already been forced? Let me know in comments. Maybe you might get converted somehow to think that. That's no good to me if that happens. Oh, it just went out. I was just about to touch that. Bear with me for a quick sec. Now it's back. Yeah, move on to the next one. Now I started doing this too because I know about negative people and people that spread shit and say that maybe I'm asking all these questions because I'm a dumbass. So I thought I'd do these for a little while to talk about that I pretty much know most of my questions. And occasionally, out of maybe 50 or 100, something like that, or 20, it all depends, occasionally, right? I might chuck in there one that I don't really know to see if someone else knows it, and then I go, I might have to connect with them as they know some things. You know what I mean? Or they're similar to me. If they answer the questions that I already know. And I'll be like, well, that's good because they know that, so we can move on to the next part. So I want to get past these questions. So I had a little jokey moment here as I've been trying to do what I do and get everyone to connect, which is world peace. Get connection. World peace is connection, proper connection. Right? And it didn't happen last year. I made a Christmas last year because I made it, which is what I'm talking about when it comes to Christmas. You can make a Christmas if you want to. And is it a Christmas when you're making it? Do you make Christmas because you want to or because things around you are making you feel that you do? And so on. I've done a little clip about that. But I don't want to get into that too much either because there's so many different things and I don't want to be attacked too much by saying not enough when I go to mention things. So if you have something on a subject, it might change as I didn't say enough in the first time. So I just joked around here and you said, I guess I get nothing. Right? I've got no presents this year. We're doing presents after Christmas as we're self-supplying. Right? So it's up to us if we want to give ourselves gifts now or later on. And we decided to do it a little bit later as it's more wiser. And we're not celebrating with people at the moment. No one's invited us to go have Christmas weeks ago or anything, or up to this moment. And we want a quiet one anyway for the things we've been going through. So it all sort of adds up, doesn't it? Groups are best to fix themselves within. So if you wanted the bad guy to fix a group, instead of us all coming in and killing them, a little bit like what I was talking about in the shower clip, they could fix themselves within. So when we come in, they only have to have people that get arrested and get a change in life and stuff like that, because the group fix themselves within. So instead of Israel coming in and wiping you out, like what they've been doing, Gaza managed to throw out the Hamas, go them out of the country and prove that they're out, or got them to stop Israel from coming in and doing another stupid move. Something like that. They can fix themselves within, right? And sometimes it gets too late, things can move too quickly, as when it comes to Gaza, that did not happen. And it might have happened if you have patience, time, which is what I've talked about. If nothing's happening, it's best to give things time and ask them to fix themselves within, which sort of what kind of meant to happen, but there was not enough time. Anyway, when it comes to Israel and Gaza, in the situation that they've gotten themselves into now. But time, if nothing's happening and something bad happened, helps you figure out the right decision and allows you to do that as nothing is happening. But if actions keep happening, right, you retaliate or they keep on attacking you, then there's no time to think about the next step. You have to do a quick think of what the knowledge you've learnt now to allow more time. So as soon as you can get more time again, where there's no action, that allows you to fix quicker, more quicker, right? That's why they have ceasefires. Allows time to hopefully make it better, right? There's no action, right? Sometimes time allows the enemy to build up and then there's going to be an action, but at least you knew what was coming. The action will always come if that outcome was going to come anyway. So it's best to wait and see what the enemy will do next and try to help the enemy and get the enemy the best you can in the peacefulest way in the time that you have. So if you've already got a peaceful way, go ahead. But if you feel that your way is wrong and not right and you're pushing because you think you have to, well, do you have time? If you don't, you don't. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit into too much of that. But it's best if they can fix themselves within, because when you allow time, that could happen for them as well. Because you can't do that when everyone's just jumping in real quickly. And that can happen with fear and anger. And yeah, dancing styles. I do many different dancing styles, depends on the mood. But I thought I'd pop out my worst type of ones that people might critic and go from there. And just to show a point of the theory I'm talking about when it comes to my dancing. But so far, no go when it comes to that yet. It can take a lot of time as people need to do certain things or maybe blocking certain things. And it's hard to explain that, as I've been doing that myself when it comes to the things I do when I'm dancing, only in the last 3 years full on. Used to do dance when I was a kid and dancing every now and then, like dancing, but I've gotten more into it, and so it only me knows about when it comes to my dancing, besides Emma seeing me do it a lot. That's about it. Have a good one, everybody, and bye-bye.